Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the American Express Delta Reserve Business Credit Card. I was recently approved for a $15,000 credit limit, and this was with no hard inquiry. Besides having a $15,000 credit limit, if you're a business traveler who frequents Delta Sky Clubs and you constantly track your progress towards next tier medallion status, you may already know the value of the Delta AMEX business card. This is following the changes to the Delta Sky Miles program over the past few months. There are some added benefits, there are some updated annual fees, and new reward categories that may change how applicants and existing cardholders alike use this business credit card to maximize business travel. So I'm going to give you some data points on how to get approved for this card, as well as some of the benefits and maybe even some of the drawbacks that come along with this card to decide whether or not it's something that you even want to actually apply for. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The Delta Sky Mile Reserve Business Card is the most premium of Amex's co-branded Delta cards. And while it does have a high annual fee of $650, it also comes with the most perks that you can get for any of the cards. And it's the most reward earning when it comes to elite status through spending. So if you're someone that likes to travel in first class or business class, then you'll probably really get the most value out of this card. Currently at this moment, the Delta Sky Miles Reserve Card has a bonus of 110,000 miles after you spend $12,000 in purchases on your new card in the first 6 months. This offer will expire April the 2nd of 2025. If you're watching this video and this date has passed, I recommend going to the website and seeing what new promotional offer that there is. Sometimes I see multiple promos on the American Express website. Some seem to also be catered towards an existing card member. So be on the lookout for the latest up-to-date promotion that they have going on, but usually you will find a brand new one if you check the website. Now, I value the Sky Miles at 1.1 cent each. So to me, the bonus is worth about $1,210. Now, for me, Delta is far from my favorite mileage currency, but it does have some high floor value. So there is a good way to redeem Delta Sky Miles. But I do want to talk about some of the drawbacks when it comes to Delta Sky Miles. Now, if you were ever curious or you didn't know, most people don't really like Delta Sky Miles, and I'll give you a brief explanation. There are plenty of people who the Delta Sky Miles program may benefit, but for a lot of savvy people who are into miles and points, it isn't necessarily, a great thing when you're trying to redeem this type of mileage. For most of us, the beauty of miles and points is being able to redeem for first class and business flights that would be extremely high if you paid cash. From redeeming American AA Advantage miles to redeeming United Mileage Plus miles, there are all kinds of ways to use miles for tickets that will cost thousands of dollars. Normally, with other types of miles, you can use very few points or very few miles to get very high ticket first class business flights. You can just get more value for flights with other miles and other programs. This represents a disproportionately good value compared to the cost of a ticket if you were paying in cash. That's the reason why people like miles. You can rack them up, and what it costs to spend with miles is way less than it would normally be if you pay cash. Delta Sky Miles, on the other hand, is a much more strictly revenue-based program, meaning there are fewer opportunities to get value. You'll rarely find a reasonably priced one-way Delta business class ticket, unlike with American or United. Even though Delta reimburses partner airlines very little for partner redemptions, the airline still will charge an outrageous number of miles in order for you to book these flights. Earning miles with Delta Reserve Card is fairly limited when it comes to the bonus categories. So you get 3x miles on Delta purchases, 1.5 miles per dollar after you spend $150,000 in purchases on your card in the same calendar year. If your purchase qualifies for a category that is a higher mileage accelerator, only the higher accelerator will apply. You also get 1x miles on every eligible dollar spent on other purchases. Ironically, other Delta cards with lower annual fees have better bonus categories. The logic is probably that the most rewarding card for spending is going to give you more towards elite statuses, and therefore Delta believes that somehow the status that you get is somehow a valuable incentive when, That's just dependent upon whether or not you care about those things. If you're looking at just racking up points in miles, this is not a really good card for you. If you care more about status, then you may like this card a lot more. Now let's talk about some of the actual benefits that this card does offer. There is the Resi credit. You can earn up to $240 back in statement credits annually after making eligible Resi purchases on your Delta SkyMiles Reserve business card. Enrollment is required for this. There's also a rideshare credit. You can earn up to $10 back each month after using your enrolled Delta SkyMiles Reserve business card for U.S. ride shares purchased with select providers. You also get the Delta Stay credit. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve business card members can earn up to $250 back annually on eligible prepaid Delta stays that are booked on delta.com. You also have expanded buying power, which some people may find very beneficial, like myself. With expanded buying power, it gives you the option to spend above your credit limit. The amount you can spend above your credit limit is flexible, so it adapts with the way that you use the card, your payment history, your credit record, financial resources that are known to American Express, and then other factors. The expanded buying power isn't a guaranteed higher limit that you can just use whenever you want, but the more frequent that you use this card, the more likely that you'll see that you have more options to use the expanded buying power in the future. And a few other benefits that I didn't get to is the Delta Companion Certificate, which can be used to book select domestic or international round trip tickets for a companion that's traveling with you on the same itinerary and pay just the taxes and fees. Now, these max out at $22 for domestic and $250 for international flights. Your first check bag is also free, so as a benefit for card members, you can check your first bag free on Delta flights, saving you up to $70 on a round trip Delta flight per person. For a family of 4, that's a potential savings of up to $280 per round trip. You also get priority boarding, so you can board early to secure a spot for your carry-on and enjoy plenty of time to settle in before takeoff for your next Delta flight with Zone 5 priority boarding. You also get the fee credit for global entry or TSA pre-check. I think this is like a standard for most travel cards. Everyone will get this. You can get reimbursed for $120 statement credit every 4.5 years after you apply for a membership with TSA PreCheck. And you can also do this for your global entry. Again, this is a thing that's pretty standard with every travel card. So I don't really see it as something that's as much of a benefit as something that I just expect to have with this card. Now, here are the data points with getting approved for this particular card. Now, for me, because I already have a relationship with American Express, as some of you may already know, once you do, American Express will just do a soft pull on your credit as opposed to a hard pull. You also should have a credit score of 680 or above. That's going to likely help you with getting approved for this card. There's also hard inquiries. I would try to have less than 3 within the last 90 days. So no recent ones. And if you have them, make sure that they're at least, fairly old if you have more than 3. Your credit age should be 1 year or more. And the credit limits on your personal credit cards should be at least $10K or above. If you do have any recent accounts in the last 90 days, then I may hold off on applying for this card. Now, what's really good about it, if you currently don't have American Express and you apply for this business card, it's just a soft inquiry until you get approved for the first time. Then it's a hard inquiry. So you can apply for this card without actually having to take any type of impact to your credit score at all. And, if you like it, if you enjoy this card, then, great. You can apply for their other options. They do have some other cards that give you better spend categories that also have a lower annual fee. Now, for me personally, the reason why I applied for this card is because, at least in my experience, the Delta cards with the higher annual fees tend to give you the highest limits. I've noticed that, and then usually after like 60 to 91 days, you can then try to get a credit line increase. That's what I plan on doing with this card. And then I plan on doing a credit line transfer and putting this onto another card before possibly closing it later down the line. So I might keep it for, let's say, the year, just to have it for enough time, use the account spend bonus. And then from there, depending on how much value that I get from it, possibly I'll keep it. I can't see myself getting $650 worth of value from this card with what they have going on, but I can see things that I can do with it for business purposes and ways that I can use this limit in order to make some money. And then, like I said, once I'm done with it, I can then transfer the limit over to another card, that way making that limit for that card even bigger. And then I plan on just doing that with, a lot of my current American Express cards. I have to look at my cards and see which one that I like that has an actual limit. Maybe my American Express, the blue card, I may do that one, but we'll have to take a look and see. Once again, the good thing about this card is that you're likely to start with a higher limit, and you can move that limit over to some of your other cards at a later time. So that is the benefit for me overall. Hopefully you'll get the same type of benefit from that. And if you do like to travel, all the things that I mentioned, they may apply to you. If you like to fly in luxury, if you like first class, if you like business class, I think that you'll get a lot of benefits from this card. If you aren't someone who cares about that, then you may not really get that much value out of it. But what you may get is a higher starting limit, which you can use for business purposes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want any additional data points about this card that I may have missed, then let me know in the comments below. Is this your favorite travel card? If not, what other business travel cards do you like? I might try to do a video on those. Once again, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.